Hello, this is Hal the Woodmeister here. Here I have a piece of walnut that came directly from the mill. And the next project on this cabinet that I've been making videos on and putting progress shots up on will be to make the front doors. There'll be a facing that goes on here, an 1.5 inch facing that goes all around and rims it, and the doors tie into that facing. So the doors will be made out of this, and also the paneling will be made out of this. My plan is to make this door with a glass insert in it, and I'll show you how to do that. This is beautiful stuff, but it's very rough at this stage of the game, and it's thick enough to where I figured out how to cut it vertically after it's sectioned into like 2-inch sections, and then put those panels together and make the inserts for the doors. So it comes out pretty good. This stuff is also economical if you buy it directly from the mill. You can get this some places for $2.80 a board foot, as opposed to, you know, $12, $14 a board foot for the finished stuff. So if you have the equipment which requires a planer and a table saw, you know, basically to get it into the shape you need it, you can save a lot of money and have a lot of fun in the progress. I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed making these videos, so we'll see you at the next step. Good morning, this is Hal the Woodmeister here, working on my corner cabinet project, which you can see in the background. This morning I'm working on planing down the pieces that will be part of the faceplate and the doors. This is a piece of walnut that was 7 feet long, and I cut it down into 2 pieces, which will be long enough to make the faceplate, and the other pieces that go with it. This is a 13-inch rigid planer. It has a dust collection duct attached to it. Without that, you'd have stuff going all over the place. It's unbelievable the amount of sawdust this thing can create and the amount of noise it can make. Once I turn it on, you won't be able to hear much of anything except for the noise of the machine, but I do want to demonstrate how you plane a piece of wood and how it looks when it's done. I'm just making an initial cut on these things to get them smooth. The faceplate is actually cut down to 3/4 of an inch, but usually I can get a piece off of this which will allow me to make the insert that goes into the cabinet door. So I learned how to do that and save some wood. I was making them out of separate pieces, but now I can save a little bit by getting a piece off of there. Wear ear protection on this thing. It's very, very noisy. It could damage your ears. Anyway, there's 2 pieces here. You run it through it. It goes into an outfeed thing. The first cut, which is about at 1 inch. There's a little feed indicator on here, which shows the depth of cut. Right now it's too high, so I got to raise it up. You don't want to take too much off of it, so the first cut usually just takes a little bit off of it. Anyway, get ready for a little noise here. think that's about enough in way of demonstrating how this thing works. You can see the nice smooth walnut that's coming through here as opposed to the rough sawn. Well, the way it came from the mill, these are the saw marks from the great big huge mill saw on it. And the next step will be plane them down a little bit more so they're smooth on each side, and then cut them into smaller segments and try to get my insert for the cabinets off of them, which come off actually this direction. Anyway, it's a very cold Oklahoma morning here, and I hope you're having a good holiday season. Okay, now I've cut this piece into a 3-inch, 3¼ inch width panel section, which can be made into 2.5-inch face plates, and I'm running it through the saw. I don't really want to do this on a video because too much noise and I can't talk. I think I can just show you what's been done here. The original piece that was planed earlier is sitting there with a section cut off of it, and it's being run through the saw. That's the maximum saw depth my saw will go, is 3¼ inch, so you can see it's actually just barely going through the top of it. Anyway, this piece here will make the panel insert for the door. This will also make the face plate and the sides of the door, depending on how I choose to cut it. And I'll show you how that's done later on. But anyway, that's the next step in the process here. This is how the Woodmeister here, back to finish up planing these panel pieces. I've already planed the pieces that will form the doors and the face plate. As you can see, they're nice and smooth. And we went from that 1¼ inch thick piece of walnut down to some 3/4 inch pieces and some 1/4 inch pieces here, which will make the panel front. And this was already planed earlier to get it down to where it was close to smooth, and this is the side that was run through the saw. I reset the planer so it'll go down to 1/8 inch. It has a depth stop on it that stops it at 1/8 inch. So anyway, I'll show you how we run through a couple of these. insert pieces which will be cut to length and then glued together. There's one other step before you can glue them together. You have to make sure the edge is nice and flat. So you run them through a saw to make sure that they're the exact same width, and then you run them through a joiner, which is a machine back there in the corner of the shop.